Today I'm trying something a little bit different. So what I've decided to do is basically do a really basic comparison between Warthunder and IL-2, comparing the flight model of the IL-2 aircraft, particularly the 1942 variant. So to start off, we'll take a look at the IL-2 depicted in Warthunder. You can see it in the hangar here. And it's a good aircraft, it's a good model. I like how War Thunder really does their models very detailed, but the problem is not the model itself, it's the flight characteristics and essentially the simulation strength of this model. So as you can see here, I'm going to show a clip now with as well as a counter for how many cannon shots actually hit the target before it gets destroyed. And so I'm going to play that now. And as we see, it doesn't take a lot for it to go down. It takes maybe around, I think it was 7 rounds. It takes about 7 hits from a 20 mil to essentially rip the entire tail clean off, just splits it right in half. And I don't think this is realistic considering it was nicknamed the Flying Tank. This does not make any sense at all for only 7 rounds of 20 mil to essentially cleanly rip it in half. But then again, War Thunder is more of an arcadey style game. It's not really a simulator. So now we're going to take a look at IL-2, which is in fact a flight simulation. Now, I did have to cut off a lot of this video because I suck at IL-2. So I missed a lot of my shots on a target that's flying straight. So I'm sorry about that. But as we're analyzing this footage, I think it's important to note that you can feel the hits of the 20 mil and you can feel the effect they have on the aircraft. Like it's not a light hit like you saw in War Thunder. It's a very strong hit from a heavy armament on this 109 that I'm using as an example. And we can see that throughout this clip the IL-2 keeps getting hit by the 20 mil and it keeps flying. It just keeps going. And I believe that this is more true to how the IL-2 was in real life than how it is depicted in War Thunder, because as I said, War Thunder is an arcade style game. IL-2 being more of a simulator, I think they tried to keep the durability of the aircraft more in line with what was historically accurate. And as we see here at the end, it's a very interesting thing to note that the point of breakage after these 11, I think it's 11, I might have miscounted, but after these 11 20 mil hits, the point of breakage is not the center of the plane, it's not the fuselage, it's the weaker elevators of the aircraft. So it broke in the weaker points, not in its strongest point, which would be the center, which essentially proves what I was saying earlier. War Thunder is a fun game, but it's more of an arcade game than anything else, because as you probably noticed with bombers as well, not just IL-2, many bombers, as soon as you sneeze on them, they just fall apart. So, and this is what leads me to believe that Gaijin in the end made a decision to have balancing for fun versus realism. So for example, if you had to expend 100 rounds of 20 mil on shooting down a single or 2 IL-2s, then you barely have anything left to shoot at all of the other targets that are still around. So in the end, I'm going to treat War Thunder as the semi-realistic arcade game that it's meant to be, and treat IL-2 as its own separate simulator that it was designed to be.